and welcome to another fantastic, rip-roaring, and dare I say,
I want my wife back! That's what I want!
super exciting version of Side Crisis as we talk more about the Sega 32X. Now, as an aside, I'd love to share a fun anecdote with all of you folks out there. Well, this sucks. So my 32X is kind of falling apart because it's old. I've done work on it, and I think clearly some of that work is undoing itself. So I'm going to have to pop this little bastard under the knife at some point, if in fact I do want a 32X to continue to live. And on some days I do, and some days I don't. But that's my challenge. So we're back. We're going to take a look at Kolibri, which is, for me, pound for pound, that's my favorite 32X game. I think it is a genuinely cool game. I think the graphics of this game are head and shoulders above anything else on the library. I did it. And that includes Virtua Fighter. It is so colorful and pretty, and it does, in fact, come from the fine people who brought us Echo the Dolphin. And they have come to the 32X with something super duper, super weird. And that is a game about being a hummingbird. So they said, look, we outclassed ourselves in making a game about being a dolphin. So how do we get weirder? We make a game about being a hummingbird. And that game is kind of a weird version of a shmup. There are other elements of gameplay that kind of show their heads later in the game, but the first, gosh, like 5-6 levels, which like we're certainly not even going to get through those here on this playthrough. But they're all like either an automatically scrolling type shooter or a shooter in which you guide your character left or right. But there's a lot of exploration. You can't get past certain levels without finding certain things. And just like the lineage of Echo the Dolphin, this game doesn't really help with that or hold your hand or do anything. But that's the Appaloosa difference. That's the developer of this game, Appaloosa or Nova Trade. I think they're one and the same. Anyway, I'm going to stop yammering. I'm going to play some Kolibri before my 32X catches on fire or do whatever the frick it's going to do, because it's being a real piece of crap. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to have some sound appear, and then I will appear right here in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, carefully trying not to breathe in the direction of this Sega Genesis 32X so that it won't freeze again. Here we go. Actually, let's check out the options first. So, normal. Let's get that right down to easy, because I would like to play this game for more than 5 minutes. A, B, C. A is special, B weapon, C is a burst. I think that's like a bomb thing. Hold direction while firing, change direction while firing. I like hold direction. Bird speed normal. Let's keep it normal. And audio mode, music and sound effects. Oh, that's cool. You can have music only if you wanted it to be like a super chill vibe. We'll do music and sound effects, because why not? Okay. Starting a new game. Here we go. So, Kolibri really shows off the enhanced color palette of the 32X, especially when you compare it to the Genesis. Sega Genesis could only do 64 on-screen colors at one time, which is kind of bonkers when you think about it. The Genesis was obviously a huge success, but its competitors, including the TurboGrafx 16, which was technically an 8-bit system, could all outclass the Genesis when it comes to total number of colors on screen. But the Genesis does what Nintendo don't, as they say. And it made up for it in other areas. Okay, so see this weird flower that appears to be leaking something, maybe like a pollen. That's what we're supposed to touch. But before I do, just look at this killer frog. So I remember as a kid seeing screenshots of this game in Game Fan magazine, and in particular this picture of this frog, and I remember thinking like, wow, this game looks like real life. It doesn't, and it didn't. However, that's the memory. Okay, so now Kolibri, our titular hummingbird, just ate the flower, I guess? I don't know, and now the world's ending. It's not too dissimilar from the beginning of Echo the Dolphin, when Echo does his first big leap, flip into the sky, and then everything just starts, going crazy and apocalyptic. Okay, first level, warning signs. This is pretty much a straight up shooter. So these crystals that just kind of like poop out these spheres are power-ups, different weapons. I love this guy. Oh, and I lost it. But it's like a bomb that when it blows up, there we go. A bunch of little bombs come around. It's a pretty devastating weapon. So I control all the scroll in this level. But like I said, there are levels that are auto-scrolling shooters. The key in this particular level, what I'm doing is I'm trying to find all these groups of flowers where evil bugs are. I would then want to relocate that species so that my hummingbird pals can come right on back and claim what is rightfully theirs in delicious flower nectar. Okay. Boom. Let's get that bomb back. You can see how many layers of parallax scroll this game has. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, which rules. That's what gives the game its pseudo 3D look. As you see there, as I scroll past, you see the foreground, background kind of working together. So cool. Looks so good. Right. Evil bugs. Get off my flowers, dog. And oh, I believe did I beat it or did I die? I beat it. That's a confusing thing about Kolibri, admittedly. Sometimes you die and you don't really know why. I'm gonna chalk it up to the collision detection. The hitboxes aren't the greatest, which was also an issue in Echo the Dolphin. But what are you gonna do? You can't win them all. It's either you make a highly functional video game, or you make a really weird game about a hummingbird. And I'm gonna pick the latter 10 days a week when possible. So pretty severe slowdown here. I'm gonna go ahead and say Kolibri, like every other 32X game, probably would have benefited from a little bit more development time. But that was just not in the cards. What did I get there? I think that was like an extra. I think I leveled up. Boom. Oh god, this game is really chugging. Okay, now it's gotten a little smoother. So Nova Trade / Appaloosa, again, I think they're one and the same company. They also made a Jaws game that was based on the 3D Echo the Dolphin engine. The game that came out on the Dreamcast and on PlayStation 2. That is a fun-ass game. If you've ever wanted to play as Jaws and, bite in half motorboatists, then that's a game for you. I do think that the game Maneater that came out a generation ago, so PS4 and 360 and PC, or not 360, Xbox One, a little bit better. It does the Jaws thing a little bit better, it plays better, but it's not a licensed Jaws game like the PS2 version is. But it kind of goes in line with what this developer makes, and that is nature games. And sometimes nature is violent, and that is a feature in every one of their games. In Echo the Dolphin, there are scenes where when like Echo drowns in a cave, and you're like, holy shit, that's dark. But hey man, that's it. That's how nature is. Nature can be very dark and cruel. It can also be very colorful and pretty, which obviously Kolibri is that as well. I do feel that since Kolibri is like it's a pretty rare game on a system that was obviously a failure and is more time past the 32X, and its games get harder to get, more expensive, blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, Kolibri is one of those rare games that is kind of worth the money. Like, especially if you're really into Sega and in particular 32X. Like, if you're gonna spend some stupid money on a game, I would argue that Kolibri is the one to do it on, because it is so interesting, it looks so good, and it is genuinely fun. And it's not a short game either. There's quite a few levels and the gameplay changes as you go along. But yeah, for me, Kolibri is absolutely a top 32X game. And I'm very happy that I got my copy when I did, because it is stupid expensive now. But in terms of how colorful it is and how impressive the 2D stuff is, ironic given the amount of slowdown I'm currently experiencing. But that could be my ancient 32X falling apart at the threads. Who knows? Anyway, Kolibri and Knuckles Chaotix are the two games that did come out at retail that both show off the 2D capability of the 32X. And when I see that stuff, it makes me really wish that the game buying public back in the mid-90s wasn't so dead set on bad 3D graphics. And I lived it. I mean, it was the way that it was. Like, a shitty 3D game was always going to wow audiences more than a really pretty and interesting 2D game like Kolibri here. But it's funny now, you look at how popular indie games are, and weird-ass nature games like this get made. And I don't want to say dime a dozen, but it kind of feels that way. But if the game buying public back then was a little bit more like it is now, who knows? The fortunes of the 32X would have been ever so slightly different. All right, and boom, we finished that level. Very good. Eruption. Like the sweet Van Halen song. All right. This level, if I remember right, is a little tricky, because you've got to, so you gotta do something with this thing. Come on, bird. There you go. And here's another one. Booyah. But I think you have to move certain things, almost like an escort mission, if I'm remembering right. This thing, he just kind of doesn't leave you alone. And you have to hook it up with something else so that you can progress. God. I love all the cliff edge stuff. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of perspective sense, but I don't give a shit. It looks really cool. And it's in so many awesome 90s games. Like, I'm thinking Rayman, I'm thinking Donkey Kong Country, all that stuff. That cliff look. You know what I mean? That cliff look. Okay, so I need this butthole to join up with the other one. I think that's the ultimate goal here. It's the ultimate goal. Oop. And he, of course, causes damage as well. That's not cool. There, meet. I want you to meet. Talk to each other. Come on. I can't get past this thing. Golly! Alright. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that last black screen was my 32X once again taking a shit. At which point I may I may or may not have erupted into man-child tears. Or at the very least, a slightly sad tantrum. Maybe I gotta do something with this flower here. But this jagoff won't leave me alone. Okay. Can I burst by him? No. See, that's what happens. Just get you stuck. And because this game doesn't hold your hand at all, it doesn't tell you anything about how to get past that. So I'm trying to go on memory here. I'm sure it's some easy solution that I'm forgetting, and that's fine. But what's important is that we are being enchanted by Kolibri's beautiful aesthetics. Okay, cannot get past them. Do I shoot them? No. Maybe I just gotta kill all the bad bugs. And there we go. That did something. Maybe that's the deal. I gotta kill all the bugs before the big guy lets me go. That is probably the deal. And, you know, a little bit of egg on the face. What are you gonna do? Friends, I have never claimed to be the world's best video game player. I am merely an appreciator. Alright, let's cook. These little feckers. Come on now. And some more bad bugs. Ooh. Oh, hey now. Okay, that changes things. It appears that those things are attacking. Okay, let's go back over here. See if we missed any. We did miss that guy. Boom. All right. I think we're in the business. Yes, we are. New area. Fantastic. Just like Fantavision. Fantastic. I make no apologies there. Ooh, I should get that on the soundboard. Ew. Okay. Now I gotta kill that guy. Actually, I need that item. Oh, that did it too. So now we can zoom past this section. Another destructive frog. Uh-oh. Probably not what I wanted there. Yeah, you know, it's real tough to sit here and say that the slowdown isn't kind of a major problem. Admittedly, I look past it because I just love all the other elements of this game. Okay, so I think I'm going to need another power. Let's make it happen. Is this guy blown up yet? No. Okay. Oh god. There we go. Let's go. Let's crank out of here. I think that might be the last one. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna steal whatever treasure is in. Nope, not today, frog. Oh. Did it. Did it. Beat that level. Infestation. Okay. So here's one of those auto-scrolling levels that I was talking about. Now we're in just a straight up good-ass looking shooter. You can turn the bird left, which I wish you couldn't, because that's always weird in a shmup. But, you know, I'm going to blame it on the engine, because that's what people say. Oh, it's the engine's fault. Okay, this is, I believe, intentional slowdown, because I did just get a hourglass power-up. And look at that cool sunset sky back there. I mean, the name Lisa Frank I don't say too lightly. When I say it with respect, and I also apply the label aptly, and I think that's what's happening here. Boom. All right. Don't want to change. Do you not want to change my weapon? Because this one is so strong and gives me such wide coverage. Boom. Look at that. expiry. Okay. Oh god! No longer an auto scroll. Now we're going from right to left. Which, that's weird. That's not a thing that you do in a lot of 16-bit games. Those little rings, by the way, are, I believe, invulnerability shields. They last on a timer. Oh, I should get those. Those are helpful. And they're... Oh, one left. Okay. Let's keep on partying. Fucking dragonflies. Dragonflies are terrorizing. In this game, and in real life. I said it and I meant it. Okay, let's explore down here. Can't go any forward. Some more slowdown. Again, friendly slowdown though. Can't kill those frogs. Cannot kill those frogs. Uh-oh. So it's trying to fly up this waterfall. I don't know why the water would affect a bird. You just fly outside of the water. But oh well. Okay. Take that, you felonious dragonflies. Ooh. That was neat. Something flashed. Now I believe I need to head back to the right. Let's avoid that waterfall for now. Let's avoid it. We're looking for... Did we do it? Again, it's hard to tell if you beat a level or die. And that was a death. Okay, that was indeed a death. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to talk about this. So Kolibri for the 32X, super fun to look at game, fun to play if you're in the right state of mind. You know what I mean? A all-over print space t-shirt state of mind. If I could, and I would, and I did. But yeah, 32X, it gets beat up a lot, and rightly so, but there are really good, interesting games for this system. Kolibri is certainly one of those, if not the most interesting and cool games on the system. So I'm happy to spread the gospel of Kolibri whenever I can, and will continue to do so. So please do like, subscribe, tell a friend about this program. I will return with, let's see, probably just one more 32X game because I'm just so tired of this thing being on the fritz. And playing it as reminding me of that fact. So I'm going to come back, one more 32X game, and thank you so much for watching. Here we go.